Well, hello there, dear viewer. This is Dumarin, the Seeker, and he will soon become an aspiring young apprentice in the Mages College in Winterhold. It's a new playthrough I'm starting, because I realized, that ever since I started my channel, I have not had a simple, relaxing playthrough that I would do mainly for myself and mainly for playing Skyrim. Most of my Skyrim experience of late was making builds and rushing through dungeons to test them and reading up on some powers and mods and scouting for new mods on Nexus and all that. So I figured it's time, really it is, for me to make a new playthrough that will be mainly for my amusement, to be honest, but if you'd like to join me, I would be delighted. Of course, I will take some care to make it less boring than it could be. I will probably cut out most of the crafting sessions, or at least speed them up, and the research sessions, because we have a few interesting mods, and among them the spell research mod. So the proper playthrough will start at the timestamp that I hope I will remember to put here on the screen and in the description. But before we start, I will show you, I will give you a very brief overview of the mods that I have installed for this one. So, mod configuration, and as you can see, some of them will not be active. Animations is mainly for recording. For me, I'm not using it, but Apocalypse, of course, and a few other spell mods, plural. God damn it, English is already difficult. I only just started. Anyways, Apocalypse spells, of course. Forgotten Magic is very interesting. If you don't know it, it adds very few spells, but these spells that this mod adds can be improved and tweaked and changed as you play. I think it's rather interesting, and I never played with it, so I will be testing it out for myself this time. Sorry, I'm fiddling in my chair. Frostfall is active, but it will be much more forgiving than in my Dead is Dead playthroughs. Permadeath playthroughs, which will continue, by the way. This is not a replacement for the Dead is Dead and Skyrim survivors, so to say. We will still keep that going, but it can be rather stressful, I would say so. This is why I'm starting a new one. Without the permadeath rule, of course. So Frostfall is active, immersive armors, of course, immersive creatures, I can't play without that. Immersive HUD also kind of, I could play without it, but not very, it's much more pleasant this way. Jackson's Positioner is for Woodcutter, I will talk about it later. Masters of Disguise, I'm not sure I will use, but let's keep it. It may be useful mainly for the Survivors permadeath playthroughs, but I kept it for here as well. Missives, obviously, to have some freedom of questing. Moonlight Tales, I'm not sure if I will become a vampire or werewolf, but I always have this. Spell Research, yes, so if you don't know, Spell Research is a very brilliant mod that allows you to discover new spells instead of just buying them or finding them. It's rather complicated, but after you discover your first spell, I would say you already should know everything about it. You should know enough at least. So you can, for example, if you have, it's just one of many examples, but for example, if you have the a flame spell, which is a concentration spell, you should be able to write thesis for the archetypes of the spell, the elements of the spell, and then you can discover other archetypes through dismantling enchanted items or through analyzing ingredients and so forth and so on. And if you, for example, discover a frost archetype without knowing the frostbite, is it the novice level concentration? I think it's frostbite. Without knowing the frostbite, then you can discover frostbite yourself without buying it or finding it, because you just need to know all the archetypes and that's helpful if you have a similar spell, as I said, flames, for example, already. learned, because you will learn the archetypes of concentration and damage and all. And there's quite a lot of them. And it also encompasses a lot of spell mods. All of the spell mods I think that I'm using are covered by spell research, so I will be able to discover some apocalypse spells and so forth and so on, and that's rather interesting and exciting. Summer Mist enchantments, obviously. Throwing weapons, again, not sure if I will use, but let's keep it here. Violence, I have not configured violence. I'll probably have to do it in a minute. Violence is for finishers. And Winter Sun, and I hope I will be able to worship Magnus very soon. I don't remember if it can be a starting deity for High Elf, but I'm 80% sure it can. And Magnus has a very interesting effect on the play style and magic, and I hope to show you that soonish. Right, so that's the list of mods. There are a few more, of course, that don't have the mod configuration menu. For instance, I have the Woodcutter. As I said, there is the Jackson's Positioner, which is a prerequisite for Woodcutter, and I am actually tweaking the Woodcutter mod in Creation Kit a lot lately. I'm playing with that because it's a brilliant mod, but it's also very, very grindy and slightly chaotic in the way it is organized, and also the version for SE is bugged. Unfortunately, the port was not successful fully, which may explain why it is not very popular on SE Nexus. And I hope I will be able to fix it over time. It will take some time, but I hope I will be able to fix it and hopefully maybe even publish it, but I will have to get the permission from the original author, and he is not responding. So he or she, let's not be sexist about it, it's 2020, huh? So I hope I will be able to get a permission from him or her, but I don't know. I don't know how it will go, but there is a lot to do, to tweak in that mod. And basically Woodcutter, if you don't know, is it allows you to craft pretty much everything that is in the game, including furniture and crafting tables and cut trees, as the name suggests, and plenty other things. Even house building, wherever you want to build a house, you can eventually, if you have a lot of patience to grind and gather all the necessary resources, which is one of the things I would like to change and streamline a little bit. So this playthrough will also be for me to test my changes to Woodcutter. Now you can ask, of course, why would such a delicate-looking, young, slightly effeminate high elf adept or apprentice of magic cut trees and make furniture? And that's rather weird, you could say, but I think the backstory of his contains a lot of problems in his homeland in Somerset, where he was frowned upon and maybe even exiled from Somerset eventually, because he is not happy about the Thalmor rule. And one of many reasons probably, is the fact that he is rather fascinated and interested in human culture and all the humans of Tamriel, and as Skyrim is the motherland of all humans, so to say. Well, it's the first province in Tamriel that was colonized by humans. Because of that, he wanted to go to Skyrim for a long time, ever since he remembers, and this is why he started the journey once he realized that he is not wanted anymore in his homeland. So this is also why, because he of course has some natural talent for magics, he ventured to a College of Winterhold as soon as he could, and this is the point of his story when we enter the stage, and we will see how far can he go and what he can achieve. Alright, good. I think that is everything. It is quite a lot of talking. Oh my god, 10 minutes! I've been talking for 10 minutes. Sorry about that. So now I really have to remember about the timestamps and all that. Okay, now, let's go. Yes, Why? Why? Oh, I have not chosen the...
Approach, my child, and choose where your new
That's a
life
great
shall
start.
begin.
It's a great start. I'm a member of a guild.
Which guild are you a new recruit for?
College of Winterhold, of course.
The glorious power of magic shall be yours to command.
Can I do it now, please? Good.